Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Prince Explains. I'm so glad you are here. Please subscribe to my channel, click the like button, share it to your friends as well. And in this video I am going to show you how you can read your electricity bill. Maybe check kwan ya obefa so obetumi read your light bill. At the moment no video ya me ye we no one more Italy and Kwana, they can benefit from it. I am explaining how you can read your electricity bill if you are living in Italy. If you are living outside Italy, I don't know if you have the same system, but this is how it is in Italy. So it is only for those living in Italy. That is one thing I want to specify on. And me pese me cover electricity bill and gas bill, but send a video no enkonkoye tintinti no. Me two sections. This section I will explain how you can read your electricity bill. Next section my ekwanya obefa so obe read your gas bill. So me dini ina bo mo a very long video, so I just want to divide it into two. So let's get right to it. All right, with me here are three different light company bills. Me wo Enel Servizio Elettrico Nazionale, and me wo Enel Mercato Libero, and me wo another company from Iron. And nyoma bebre omo ani nyina no the same. Only few things ena esesa in all these three different companies womo bills no. You know where and how you should look for certain things. After this video, you will be able to know how much you are paying at kilowatts in an hour. That is kilowatt hour. As you can see, this bill here is that of the Servizio Elettrico Nazionale. We no enye Mercato Libero. Normally, so bill na some of the important things you have to look at is the tarifa. That is what they are billing you on, which is B horario. Either you have B horario or you have mono horario. I think I explained this in my first video. So with this bill, they are billing me on B horario. You also have to look at the number of kilowatts they are giving you at your residence. The power which goes to most of the residential houses are of 3 kilowatt, and you have an availability of 3.3 kilowatt. Yeah, but what you are paying for is of 3 kilowatt. But in case you will need more than 3 kilowatt, you have available up to 3.3 kilowatt. Another thing you have to look for, which I know the minimum say no one say yes, I can bill. And only the first thing that we look at, that is the price, how much you are paying in that bill. Obviously, and only idea yes, I can bill a bebrina. That's the first thing we look at. The next thing you will look at, or you have to look at, is at this side, all this place, which is actually a summary of what you are paying in your bill. They have summarized it. The details are there. I will take you to the details so that you see why Spesa per la materia energia is 15 euros 36. Then you will also know why Spesa per il trasporto dell'energia elettrica is 15.54. Then you will also know why Spesa oneri di sistema is 8.53. Then obviously they will tax it all, and the tax is 3.74. Please bear also in mind that the government added the television bill that is for private use to all electricity bills. So this 18 euros here, since the bill comes every 2 months, every month of the television bill is 9 euros. So for 2 months it is 18 euros, and they always add it to your light bill. My actual light bill is 43.37, then plus 18 euros gives a total of 61.37. So as you can see over here, this 39.43 is referring to the total of 15.36, 15.54, 8.53, and that gives you a total of 39.43. Totale spese energia, trasporto e oneri di sistema plus IVA na omo de kauno, that is 3.94 euros. Ukanina boma total be 43.37. Okay, when you go down or when you go to the next page, now we are going into details. When you have biorario, you will have something they call F1, F2, F3. F1 is normally for the working hours, that is from 7 a.m. probably to 7 p.m. And F2, F3 is for the evening and the weekends, or even also on holidays. So they normally take, that is the last 12 months, the consumption that you used, and then they will put it all together in F1, F2, F3. So F1 of the whole of last year, this is the consumption of my F2 and the consumption of my F3. Then the total in a year of consumption is 1,606. Now in this bill, these are the actual figures they used to calculate the bill. Consumi effettivi. What I showed you before was consumi annual. Here is consumi effettivi. That is the effective consumption you made within the last 2 months. So you can see that my F1 is 66 for 2 months, and our F2 is 61 for 2 months, and our F3 is 77 for 2 months, which gives you a total of 204. And obviously, here you can see something like consumo fatturato. It is just the same as consumi effettivi. Obviously, what you consumed effectively, and I will be used to fattura. And as you can see, F1 is the same as the F1 here, and here F2, F3, which is of a total of 138. So we calculation now. Say, let me calculate it here. You say 61 plus 77 is 138. One important thing you should look at also is the date. From which date to which date are they billing you? So as you can see, this 2 months bill is from the 3rd of May 2020 to the 3rd of July 2020, which is exactly 2 months. Inti ahasi one more will say from the last readings now one more a year this is what they measured. They measured 3562 from the last readings, and one more say as at 31st May 2020 they measured 3594, and June 30th they measured 3624, and at 3rd July they measured 3628. So if you should make a subtraction of the last measurement a year 3628 minus the first measurement, which is 3562, amount 66. That is why your F1. Efectivo is 66. The same thing applies to your F2 and your F3. And here they are also telling you that the maximum power you used within these 2 months is 2.2. Remember that you have 3 kilowatts and you have available up to 3.3 kilowatts. Nyameka ka say so on second bill na, it is always important to read some of the informations na ewa ha say no ebi wa it is telling you something that you have to act according to. Ye mu bebre na ye nsaka ye bill na this part where the information is, no, we don't read it. Ebi mpo ana wo mo catch say from next month kono ya to bill num the €2 account. I say and on trace information in the amount. Then they will tell you say up to maybe 30 days to decide say would with that €2, no, and also say unjintum into within that 30 days and you can change to another company. But ready into no next time we are now €2 no ebe effective ebe account no obehwena bill price in a cost and you won't understand obekwa akohwehwem na obehu say omo the €2 account over there no obe say okay so omo the €2 account then you don't need it again. But time omo the man will say decide if you want it or you don't want it, no. It has passed. And, you know, if you act say you can get a penalty because you are not respecting the contract. But now the same thing which gets repeated all the time that you receive your bills. This part in India, I'm not going to get into it because I guess our video no will be very long. And you know, I will advise that if you get your bill, take your time and read this part where they have the information, so that if there is any change in contract, you can get to know it. I say in a beginning, no figures are you no one more into details. You will know why the 1536 you didn't can you know ni na ahanewo. And I say you have to pay more attention to it. You will understand how much you are actually paying for kilowatts in an hour. Adebakwa the same most of the bill you receive no yensaka no dia womo freno quarter fees. This price no especially Mercato Libero funo a company na ankasa ena decide womo quarter fees. But this being a bill of Enel Servizio di Maggior Tutela, no, and no a government no na I establish this quota fees. And you know, if you are not using Mercato Libero, then it will be different from when someone is using Mercato Libero. That is to say that you can't compare your price, that of your quota fees, to someone else's quota fees if you are not using the same company. And one thing I found out is that this quota fees is something they decide every year. So if they say this year the quota fees is €4.26, that is to say that the whole of this year your quota fees will be €4.26. So as you can see here, in June 2020 the quota fees is €4.26, and it is the same as July. Now you can see over here that they gave me Sconto Boletta online. This is basically because meme bill no yem printing a yedi bremi almost sending me through my email. By so doing, you know, me bill biya ebeba biya no obehwe na wo every month we are so 50 cents into no 2 months no wo so €1 only because I receive my bills through the email. They don't print it and then post it to me. And it is something you can take into consideration. Then you can avoid that one more impostable bill embryo. So one more postable bill embryo so mostly one more the expenses they make in printing and posting to you no so one more the count. And sometimes we realize our bill no €40 it can be 42 43 because one more printed bill no na one more a posted bill. If you want to avoid paying for posting, printing and administrative work now, you can do it in such a way that they will send your bill through the email. Okay, over here they are telling you in F1 from 4th May to 31st May you used 32 kilowatts. Now and only what you are paying for kilowatt hour. I am paying 0.040580. You can run it up to be 0.041. So what are they going to do? They will multiply. Now let's do the calculation. They will multiply 0.04050 times 32, which is the effective kilowatt you consumed within that frame of date now, but that is from 4th May to 31st May. You consume 32 kilowatts. So 32 times the price you are paying at kilowatt hour, which is 0.04 times 32, and that will give you €1.29, which has been rounded up to €1.30. The same way, in the same period, they calculated my F2 and 3, and the price I am paying for F2 and 3 is 0.037130. Bear in mind that the price of F2 and F3 is always less than the price of F1. Why? Because F2 and F3 takes place throughout the night and on the weekends and also on holidays, and the prices around that time are less than the F1 prices. So within the calculation of F2 and 3, I consumed 66 kilowatts, and in this case let's do the calculation. You know that 0.037130 times 66 will give you €2.45, which of course you can see here. It goes on to calculate F1 again, but different date, and from 1st June to 30th June I consumed 30 kilowatts, and they are multiplying it by the price I am paying at kilowatt, which is 0.040. So if you do the calculation, you will know that the price you are paying at kilowatt times 30 kilowatts will give you 122. The same way in F2 and F3, the price you are paying at kilowatt, the number of kilowatts you consumed within that period. If you do the calculation, you will find out that the total is €2.56. Sorry. The same way they are doing the same calculation of F1, F2, F3 in different dates, which is 1st July to 3rd July, which is only 3 days. And then I consumed 4 kilowatts within those 3 days times 0.45. Here it seems like the price at kilowatt increased by some cents. Instead of 0.40 cents, it was 0.045 cents. So my F1, F2, F3 within those 3 days calculated is what is giving me 0.18 cents, 0.13 cents. So at the end of the day, would the way in the bomwa and no NBMAO 15 euro 36, which is your total spesa per la materia energia. If we want to verify, we can make the calculations. 4.26 times 2 plus 130 plus 245 plus 122 plus 256 plus 0.18 plus 0.13. And mind you, they gave me a discount of €1, so minus 1, and then you get your 1536. Now we are going to the section of spesa per il trasporto dell'energia elettrica e la gestione del contatore. One thing I figured out here is that with all the companies, the prices here are the same, whether it is Enel, Servizio Elettrico Nazionale, Enel, Mercato Libero, Eni, or whatever company is, these prices are the same, which is €1.70. It is the same everywhere because it is decided by the government. This part of the bill is not in any way decided by the company. Here it is decided by the government, and within the year of 2020, that is the price that is the price everyone is paying this year. Probably next year it will change. Maybe last year it was different, but this year every company, they don't have any possibility to modify these prices. The same as quarta potenza, and also the price €1.70. But over here, like they are giving you 3 kilowatts. And it is 3 kilowatts you are paying for. And la quarta potenza, which is the 3 kilowatts, is €1.70 times the 3 kilowatts you have available, which gives you €5.22. Say ekobane say wo fie ni so, instead of 3 kilowatts, you need 6 kilowatts. They will calculate 174 times 6, which will give you the price you are supposed to pay. Say sorry, ni so. And I say in your we use it is more than 3 kilowatts. You can ask for more, which is 6 kilowatts, 5 kilowatts, however you want it, you can ask for it. And this is where you pay for the power you have available. So as you can see, within the month of June, that is what I am paying for the power I have available, the same as July. Then you come to Quota Energia. That is also one thing which is decided by the government. So just as you see it here as 0.0083 times this 98 kilowatts, which is referred to Woka F1, F2, F3 at the boom within this month now, and about 98. We can go and verify. We can verify here that 32 in F1, of that same period, and then 66 of F2 and 3 of that same date. Together, you get it here as 98. The same as this period of June, F1 is 30, F2 and 3 is 69. And, you know, the total of these two gives you 99. And then the 3 days of July, the total of 4 and 3 gives you 7. I am paying 0.0083, which is not even up to 1 cent. 0.00833 times the 93 kilowatt hour will give you 0.82. Well, you can take your calculator and do these calculations by yourself. And now the total of all this here is what gives you 1554, as we saw before. So it is the total of spesa per il trasporto dell'energia elettrica e la gestione del contatore, which is 1554. When we come down a bit, we will find spesa per oneri di sistema. In this case, this is also decided, is decided by the government, not the company. And the amount you are paying at kilowatt hour is 0.042 if you run it up. That is 0.04 cents times, if you remember, 98 of F1, 2 and 3 of May, and F1, 2 and 3 of June, which will give you 99, and F1, 2 and 3 of July, which will give you 7. So it is 0.041 times these figures, and this is the amount you are paying, and the total sum up to 853. So as you can see, in the beginning we found 1536, 1554 and 853. Then at the end of the day, the sum of all these three figures will give you a total of 3943, and they will calculate 10% on this 3943, which is €3.94 round up. So that is the tax. All together is what gives you 43.37. That is the actual amount I paid on my electricity bill those 2 months, 43.37. And then, as I said before, I have 2 months of canone di abbonamento della televisione. Every month is €9, so 2 months is €18. 18 plus 43.37 is what gives you 61.37. So at the end of the day, this is all what explains your bill. I just explained step by step how you can know how much you are paying at kilowatt hour, which mine is 0.04 cents for F1, 0.037 for F2 and 3. Then we figured out that F1 at July increased a bit, the same as F2 and 3 at July also increased a bit. Maybe I will have to confront it with that of August, September to see if the price also changed over there or it remained at 45 cents and 42 cents. Yeah, so in all, this is what explains how you can read your bill to understand the figures or the amount you see in the summary. And now I am coming to show you another company which is Iren. Iren is one of the companies I just figured out they are also around. Someone sent me his bill from this company, and then I figured out it was necessary for me to use it to explain how you can read the bill and also find out the prices they are giving and how you can decide on which company to choose and the price you should choose. So just like the other bill that I showed you, basically some of the important things that you have to look at the initial stages are obviously the price you are paying, which this one here is paying 149. Now when I got this bill and I read through it, there was something strange about it, and then I'm going to show you in a jiffy what I mean by the strange thing I found on this bill. Actually, it was supposed to be for 2 months, but the strange thing that I was talking about is this company calculated the bill on 3 months, whereby they presumed your third month and then they added it to your 2-month bill. That is to say that, for instance, if they were calculating January, February, they calculated January, February, and then they presumed how much you were going to consume in March, and they added it to the January, February bill for you to pay, which is very strange because it doesn't work like that. If you are paying for 2 months, they have to work it for you on 2 months. They don't have to presume the third month and add it for you to pay. Then later, when they get to March and April, they will read March and April and then clarify the assumption they made initially with the March bill that they made you pay already. So if they presume that you were going to use, for instance, 50 euros, now if they calculate effectively and you used 50 euros, then it means you have already paid that 50 euros. But if you used more than 50 euros, then you are going to pay the remaining amount they found out effectively. And if you used less than 50 euros, then they are going to do the difference. But here is the case that most people don't know how to read the bill very well. So by so doing, they will confuse you, and then they will omit some calculations, and then you'll find yourself paying much more than you are supposed to pay, and you won't understand because it becomes complicated, it becomes compulsive, so you find it difficult to understand, to know why you are paying this much. Now this bill has a total of 149 euros, but in reality it was supposed to be less than that. All right, this is the name of the offer, which is Iren Tutu Apostoluce. That is the name of the contract. And then as you can see, it has 3 kilowatt power and has availability of 3.3 kilowatts. And obviously this is also in a B horario. So we can see F1, which is in kilowatt hora, F2, and then F3. So according to them, their initial reading was 6,115. And up to 31st March, they read 6,174. So if you take 6,174 and you take out 6,115, then you get 59. So that is the amount of power which was consumed within that 1 month was 59 kilowatt. And then as at 30th April 2020, they read 6,230. When you subtract 6,174 from 6,230, then you get 56. So F1 in this bill becomes the total of 59 plus 56, which is 115. So F1 within these 2 months was 115. The same as F2, the total was 89, and then F3 has a total of 50 plus 73, which gives you 123. So that is how this one says about F1, F2, and the F3. Over here you see, just as it was in the NL bill I explained before, you will see spesa per la materia energia, which is 7422, spesa per trasporto e gestione del contatore 24, spesa per oneri di sistema 28, and imposte, which is €1.11. Later we'll find out what that is. Altre partite, that is minus €10. We will also find out what that is. Omokanina Bumwa, I think without IVA is 111. Then the IVA of 10%, which will be 1111, which gives you a total of 122.16. When you see something which tells you costo medio unitario, and then costo medio unitario spesa materia energia, these figures you see here is actually not telling you how much you are paying at kilowatt hour. No, this is telling you how much you are paying after everything has been calculated. Then they do the costo medio. So after they have calculated all these figures, then they are telling you that the costo medio is around these figures. So as I showed before in my first video, you get the prices at 0.05, just as in that of the bill I explained before. You get it in 0.04, but here it is 0.15. So if this was supposed to be the price you are paying at kilowatt, then it was too much. Now we are getting into details whereby they say F1, F2, F3 in these dates are as follows. That F1 was consumed 59, F2 and 3 has a total consumption of 97, which gives you a total of 156 for this period. Then for this period, which is 31st March to 30th April, the same way F1 gives 56, F1, F2 115, with a total of 171. Now here is where the strange thing I was talking about comes in. This bill is supposed to be a 2-month bill, not a 3-month bill. So what happened? From 30th April to 30th May, which was not supposed to be part of this bill, they calculated it as consumo stimato, which simply means they assumed that within the next month, these are the figures you are going to consume. So they assume that your F1 within the month that you have not yet used was going to be 56. Your F1 and F2 that you have not used was going to be 115, which is the same as that of the month of April. So this is actually only an assumption, and they added it to the bill for the person to pay without using it. This is the strange thing that I was talking about. It is not right for it to be in the 2-month bill like that. Fine, it can be okay, because when they calculate the next month, which will be May and June, they would take into consideration the fact that they already calculated that of May. So what happens is they will only have to do the difference. The only problem is, since most people, like I said before, are not able to read their bill very well, here they can make the difference how they want it, and before you understand that they are cheating you, you might have already paid a whole lot of cash which you were not supposed to pay. So as we saw before, the minus 10 euros was actually referring to bonus offerta contrattuale, which means when the owner signed this contract, they gave him 10 euro discount, which I don't know if it will be for just a particular period or it will be forever. From the total amount of bill that the person has to pay, they will take out 10 euros as a bonus. Okay, let's get into details again. Here you can see that in the month of March, which has a total of 31 days, quota fissa, just like I said before, the quota fissa is something, especially the Mercato Libero companies, they are the one who decide the price. So for instance, these companies 2020 quota fissa is 8 euros and 83 cents, as compared to the bill I read before, which was 4 euros 40 something cents. This company's quota fissa is 8 euros 88, which is actually a bit high. Over here you see something like componente di dispacciamento, and then here it is a minus, because they it seems like within the contract they made with this person, they were giving him that discount of 1 euros 17 cents, which means that within the contract they are not, they excluded the payment of componente di dispacciamento, in this case, which is 1 euros 17 cents. Okay, this side here is quota energia. That is to say that it is 0.082 cents at kilowatt, which is a bit higher as compared to the bill I read before, which was 0.040. So that is it. If you are looking for a contract, this is where you have to look well, so that you won't have an expensive electricity bill, because this is the only place you can save on. Like I said, all the rest are decided by the government, and they are the same with all companies. But this one here is what actually the company decides, and then if you don't choose well, at the end of the day, it will have impact on your total bill. In this case, in this bill, he is paying 0.082. So if he consumed 59, you do the mathematics, 59 times 0.082, and you are going to get this for euros 84 cents. It is the same for F2 of the same period, F3 of the same period, and then there is something here that I would like to explain, which is perdita di rete. When they are transporting the energy from the terminal, which is of a high voltage, before it gets into our various houses, some of the energy disperse. So with this dispersion of energy, we pay for it, which is not that much. We pay, it costs 10.5 0.40% of the actual price they are giving you, which is 0.82. Into if we go and do 10.40 divided by 100 times 0.082, it will give you 0.008528, which is exactly what is here. So for you to pay the disperse of the energy they are transporting from the main terminal to your various houses, to our various houses, this is what we are paying. Now there is this also which is called dispatchamento. What this also means is, as they are transporting the energy from the main terminal to our houses that we have dispersed, they will also have to maintain the energy. For the fact that they are maintaining that energy, which they call it dispatchamento, no? That also has a cost, which is 0.01, which is nothing. I mean, the figures you see here are nothing. So if you multiply it by the number of kilowatts you use, then you get the amount that you have to pay. So perdita di rete 10%, 10-40% of the actual price they are giving you at kilowatt. Then dispatchamento, that is the maintenance of the power, so that in your house you have to get, in homes we have 230 volts. In order for them to maintain the 230 volts, you pay this of 0.10, which they call dispatchamento. And so if we go do the maths, the total of all these figures here together will give you 23.46. That is what you are paying for the materia energia. Now if we go forward and look at the totale spesa trasporto e gestione contatore now, in the month of March, within 1 month, like the bill I showed you before, it was 170. It is decided by the government, and it is the same for every company. Quota potenza, he has 3 kilowatts. The price is €1.74. It is the same for every company, times 3, then you get this figure. And then we have quota energia, 0.00833, which is the same for every company, times the total of kilowatts you consumed within this month is 156. That is F1, F2, F3 together, times 0.083, IBEMA 129. You come to this, all of this total is what will give you 653. So now if you add these figures, 23 to 821 to 653, and then 0.07, the total will give you 38.27. Minus 10, then you get 28.27. So all these calculations is only for the month of March. It is just the same thing for the subsequent month, which is April. And the total of April is 41.39. So actually within the 2 months, he was supposed to pay 41.39 plus 25.38, which is 66.77. That is what this person was supposed to pay within the 2 months. So like I was saying, since another month was assumed and calculated together, 41.39 becomes now times 2 plus 28.27, and then they work obviously the tax of 11105, 10%, which is €11.11, add it to it, and you get a total of 122.16. So this is actually the bill the person is paying for 3 months. So yeah, that is all also for this bill. And like I said before, I had 3 different bills: Enel, Enel Mercato Libero, and this one. But I'm not going to add the Enel Mercato Libero because this is also a Mercato Libero, and it's much more explains much of the Mercato Libero. If you have any question in regards to what I have explained, you can leave it in the comment section, and I'll do well to reply to your question and then make more clarification if there is something you don't understand. All right, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you get update on my subsequent videos. My next video will explain that of the gas bill. There is a slight difference between the gas and then the light bill. Please subscribe to my channel, click the like button, share it to your friends as well.